Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, and we're all seated and we're comfortable. I shall start the meeting. Thank you, Town Clerk.
The town sergeant in there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, welcome to the Ramsgate Town Council, full council, on the 4th of May 2022. First item on the agenda are apologies.
We have apologies from Councillor Young, who's unwell.
Thank you very much. Let's wish her all the best. Item number 2 on the agenda is declarations of interest. I take that as there aren't any. Thank you very much. Item number 3 on the agenda is a report from the chair. So that's myself. I'll keep this brief for you, but the start of this meeting, the first thing I would like to say above you all is thank you to everybody for putting in time and effort throughout the year to do as much as you can for Ramsgate. It's a big call on people's time and resources, and I'm hugely grateful for everybody in this room that goes out of their way to do things behind the scenes that a lot of the public don't see, but also to attend the meetings and things like that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much to all the councillors. I think that's the very first thing I'd like to say. The next thing I'd like to say is there's been 3 major things that I'm absolutely delighted to say that has happened in the year of 2021-22. And I think the first and most important thing is the appointment of our town clerk. So again, I think that's probably one of the best things that Ramsgate Town Council has ever done, and we are absolutely delighted, Town Clerk, to have you with us. We're very grateful for all the work that you've done, and especially all the support. So thank you for that. Secondly, of course, is a huge project that Ramsgate Town Council has, taken on a couple of years ago, and we are continuing to work very hard towards it, is the project of Radford House, which has had a few hiccups along the way, but is definitely on track to be an excellent community venue and a resource for the people of Ramsgate. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but the big hurdles have been got over, and we are on track to continue with that project. And thank you again for all the people that have put a lot of time and effort into that. Lastly, I just want to say the other thing that I'm very proud that Ramsgate Town Council have done is the climate emergency. I think we all have to recognise the way things are heading in the future for Ramsgate, England, the earth, etc., etc. And whatever we can do to help tackle that problem of climate control, everything from recycling to being resourceful, and definitely in order to make our town the best it can be, I think we should also be very proud of ourselves for voting that in and starting the gruelling journey of what we can do. And I think at that point I'd also like to say thanks to Dean for his excellent work and report, helping us really bring that to home. It's outstanding achievement. It's a fantastic piece of work. We should all be proud, especially it's something that other town councils would look on with envy. So well done, Dean, for that. Second to last thing I'm going to say is thank you to all the staff, technicians, admin, everybody that's worked really hard this year. So not just the councillors, but most definitely the team behind us. Deputy Town Clerk, especially for her few months when we didn't have anybody. If that could be passed on, Town Clerk, thank you. So well done for that. And lastly, I'd just like to say thank you from myself. What a fabulous opportunity it is to be a councillor and represent the town, but also to chair meetings and actually really know what's going on and be part of it and feel that you can make a difference. So from myself, thank you very much. And with that, I'll end my report. Thank you.
Is this an appropriate time to thank you?
Possibly.
We took over an extremely difficult time. Peter's death, which was 15 months ago, and we all knew that Peter was in decline. We didn't think he was going to die as fast as he did.
Yeah.
We worked hard to fill his shoes and to create a whole new process in line with Laura for the running of this council. And I'd like to thank you for all the hard work you've put in.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Item number 4, the report from the Mayor. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming this evening. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you for electing me as the Mayor of Ramsgate, the first Asian Bangladeshi Muslim mayor. I think we made history, Ramsgate made history for electing me for last 3 years. And also it was my privilege to be the mayor during the pandemic. Although I couldn't attend many engagements, but it was my pleasure to look after the local community, which I feel really honored that I managed to do so many things with the local residents. For example, food delivering, talking to them, working with the Salvation Army, the homelessness and everything. And also we try to, fundraising activities couldn't take place, but at the same time I am grateful to Ramsgate Town Council for allowing me to use the £3,000 for donating to my chosen charities, which were, I think most of you know, were Thanet Winter Shelter, RNLI, East Kent Mancap, Foreland School, and what's that one? That was the 4, wasn't it? yeah. So yeah, and I think it's been a great honor for me actually for being the mayor of Ramsgate, which gave me the inner sight of Ramsgate, which took me every corner of Ramsgate to meet people and do stuff with them, from barbecue to the birthday parties and obviously the other ceremonial stuff for our Ramsgate Town Council. I have really enjoyed every single minute of it. And I'm really grateful for Ramsgate, the resident of Ramsgate, welcoming me with such a warm heart and accepting me. And also my colleagues, all of you, my councillor colleagues, for electing me, and the chair and also the new town clerk for last few months, being here supporting me. I would like to point out a few things. I'm not going to make a big list of the things I have done, but what I feel proud of, the three things I have done, which I really feel proud of, that being an Asian mayor, I managed to bring the diverse community together in Ramsgate. I wouldn't say only in Ramsgate, I think I have managed to change the whole Thanet in a way, which I feel very, greatly achieved my target, which I achieved. And secondly, I have done few things differently compared to the previous events that other past mayors have done. For instance, every time I have done something, I have brought the interfaith group in with the Jewish community, Muslim community, the Salvation Army, the Hinduism, everything. For example, when we do the Holocaust Memorial Service, we had a wonderful, outdoor event, and which was live streamed as well, which has been watched by many people, and which I hope it will promote Ramsgate. At the same time, it will bring change to our community, not only our community, worldwide. The hatred that we have for, for each other, which will day by day will go away by seeing these things are happening in our local community, and we are all human beings. Our blood are all red. Doesn't matter which color our skins are, but everyone's at the same color blood. And secondly, I feel that I have done another thing is that I have started my monthly litter picking, which have brought the community volunteer groups together. At the same time, all the residents, they have started making a group and doing litter picking. I have brought many schools to come and join me, and they have been wonderful. I have donated over nearly 400 litter pickers, and I hope the residents who have taken the litter pickers, they will continue with their, with their work to keep their surrounding clean and tidy. And finally, I would like to say a thank you to our Town Sergeant Mac for all his support for the last 3 years. Without him, it wouldn't have been an easy journey for me. You have made it so easy and enjoyable, I would say, And at the same time, my PA, she also has been very, very supportive. And everyone, Dean, Emma, and all the technicians, everybody, without all your kind support, I couldn't have been carried on for the last 3 years. And at the same time, the people of Ramsgate, thank you again for having me as news everywhere. USA, I traveled, and so I hope I have promoted Ramsgate maybe a little bit to the wider community and all over the world. Finally, I just would like to thank my husband, Reza, who is here. Without his support, and I couldn't have carried on for the last 3 years. And I would also like to thank him for being my consort for last few years and helping me and supporting me. Thank you, and thank you again for all of you for, keeping me as a mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, and it goes without saying, Roshan, thank you for your time. It's not an easy job and it's very time consuming, and I think you've done it admirably. Well done.
Thank you.
Can I speak, Chair?
You may indeed.
I would just like to say as well, on behalf of me, that to have Roshan as a friend and seeing the work that she's done, she's tireless. I don't know where she gets the energy from. And it's easy to say, but she has made a difference. And she was one of the first people that I met when I wanted a big stand as a councillor, and I helped her with canvassing. And we got off to a good start and had a laugh and and had a giggle. But she has done a hell of a lot for the town, and personally from me, thank you, Roshan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super, thank you very much. Okay, item number 5 on the agenda, the election for the chair, 2022-2023. Do we have anybody that would like to put their hat in the ring?
I do, Chair, thank you.
You do, are you proposing yourself?
Well, you asked if anyone wanted to put their hat in the ring.
Absolutely, I just wanted to check, that was all.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, I've got somebody that's put their hat in the ring. Do I have a seconder, please?
Seconder.
Seconder, thank you very much.
Councillor Alban.
Councillor Austin.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Wick.
Thank you. And in fairness, I will second that. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? No, let's go to the votes then. Okay, Councillor Alban for chair, if we could vote all those in favour.
think that's
Okay.
9.
All those against? Abstain.
So that's the majority in favour.
Absolutely, thank you. And with that, I'd like to hand over to the new chair. Thank you.
Yes, you have to.
Okay. Thank you.
May I ask you to read your declaration of acceptance of office
Yep.
and print name and sign? Thank you.
Right, I, Stephen Alban, having been elected to the office of the Chair of the Town and Cinque Port Lim of Ramsgate, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof, according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Ramsgate Town Council. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you.
Chair.
Your chair.
Got it on the brain. Got it in the brain.
Good start.
Right, well, thank you very much for electing me as chair. One of the reasons that I wanted to become the chair was to push the work that Ramsgate Town Council does further out to our outlying areas such as Newington and Northwood. We've all, whilst we have Windermere Avenue and all of those areas which David has done a lot of work in, but I specifically wish for Ramsgate Town Council to be seen around those areas, so I think that's a lot of work that we need to do. I would also like to thank Councillor Nixie for all of her hard work that she's done, and she will be a hard act to follow. But I intend to do it in the best way possible that I can, and to ensure this council is inclusive and that everybody has a say at council meetings, and to ensure that our council runs as smoothly as possible. So I thank you for that. Thank you very much. Move on to item 6, and that is the election of vice chair for 22-23. Do I have any nominations, please?
I'd like to nominate David Green.
Maybe Green. Anybody else?
I'd second that.
Seconded. Anybody else? No? Don't think there's any need for a vote.
Congratulations.
Good tattoo, huh?
I've just been told we have to vote, so all those in favour of Councillor Green? Yeah, he's unopposed, but I thought it needed to be done.
Could have abstention.
Yeah, thank you. Any against? One against, Town Clerk. And any abstentions? Thank you. David, did you wish to say anything in relation to your election as
I think
vice
I
chair?
have to make a declaration first.
So this is to be read out. So put your name at the top and then sign.
Declaration of acceptance of office. I, David Green, having been elected to the office of Vice Chair of the Town and Cinque Port Lim of Ramsgate, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Ramsgate Town Council. Okay, thank you.
Now, David, any words you want to say?
I've never been deputy chair before, so it's new to me, despite my many years on the town council. I just hope I can support Steve in whatever he
I'm sure you will.
hopes to do with the council. Thank you.
No, no, Dave. Right, so we move on to item 7, which is the election of mayor for 22-23. And can I ask for nominations, please, to be mayor?
Not to be mayor, but I would like to nominate Councillor Ara, who has done an absolutely fabulous job, and I believe that continuity is important. She is loved and respected across Ramsgate and Thanet, and has done an excellent job of promoting Ramsgate nationally and internationally, let alone locally.
Do we have? We have a second. Okay.
And nominate councillor Pat Moore, please.
And a seconder? Councillor Crittenden? Thank you. Okay, anybody else? No, then we move to the vote, and as Councillor Ara was put up first, all in favour of Councillor Ara continuing as mayor.
Do I vote?
Yes.
7 in favour.
Anybody against? Any abstentions? 2 abstentions. And, okay, vote for Councillor Moore as mayor, please.
That's 6 in favour. Sorry, Chair, did you vote?
I didn't. I didn't want to vote, and I wanted to let that go as it was.
So we have 7 for Councillor Ara, 6 for Councillor Moore.
Could I just say something, please? I thought, and it's in the minutes, etc., that when a councillor stood as mayor, the next mayor will be the deputy councillor, the deputy mayor. And then, you know, it's like after Scargill, we're having a job for life. And that couldn't happen. So what the best thing to do, I think, other places do it. You can't go on forever doing a job. You have to give other people a chance to do it. And I'm just objecting, if you don't mind, that Councillor Ara could stand as deputy, and then she will be mayor next year, if she's that interested in it, which I'm sure she could be.
No, it is the vote that is decision making, and the majority vote was for Councillor Ara.
Yeah. So as I've just been asked the question of the town clerk has advised that there is no precedent for that, Councillor Moore, and therefore, as the vote went, Councillor Ara is now mayor for next year.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Chair,
could I just,
Yes.
for a second, please? Because I think I understand where Councillor Moore is coming from. I think there is a fresh vote every year, but I think were the mayor to leave office either because the mayor had left the area or simply decided to retire,
Taken ill or something.
or taken ill, or
Bullshit.
Deputy
haven't
takes over.
even passed away, then it would pass to the deputy mayor, until such times as there was a fresh election. So I do understand what you're saying completely, but I just think it's kind of half a step too early, if you don't mind me saying so. Thank you, Chair.
Can I just say, Chair, it was voted on. We voted on giving the deputy mayor the chance to be mayor the following year. It must be in the records somewhere.
That was the Labour group. We in the Labour group voted that.
Not when we were in here and there were a lot of us. And this was from Peter Campbell's time.
Yeah.
Just,
So now,
can I just ask the town clerk if she needs to say something, and I'll be with you in a second, yeah.
so if that is a vote that has been taken in the council chamber, it has been over 6 months ago. So I'm afraid that actually it's the vote that tonight is the one that is the decision maker.
And you want to come in then?
So, Russia.
No pressure. Councillor Huxley, right?
To make a point, the etiquette of the council, as I imagine, I understood it from when I was a councillor before and now, is the mayor should be a mayor for maybe 1 or 2 years. Obviously with COVID and the lockdown, I supported everything that Councillor Ara has done. It's not a personal thing against her. I just think after 3 years, I think it should be someone else who is mayor, just to refresh it. That's just my opinion. It is a sort of etiquette of the council which is unwritten that happens, just to make that point. Thanks.
Councillor Zeki.
I'd like to make the opposite point to that and say that because of COVID and the fact for 2 years of her 3 years, she's been literally strapped to a chair and stuck in front of a microphone and a camera maybe. That's about the best she's done, and not her fault. I think she should be given the opportunity to act as a full mayor with open streets, open shops, open pubs, everything open, and act as a mayor as she would have liked to have done for the few years previous. But she wasn't able to. Now she has the opportunity to fulfil that, and I'm sure she'll be brilliant at it.
Thoroughly support Councillor Rizeki, and I would draw members' attention
Yeah, I saw that.
our previous mayors. You know,
Yeah.
it has not in fact been the tradition in Ramsgate for somebody to be mayor only for 1 year. I take Councillor Huxley's point, but this is not actually how we run things here.
Huxley.
Usually that happens if it's sort of 4 mayors in a row, is because no one else wants to do it. That's my experience of it in the past.
Yeah, there is.
Councillor Green is a good
I
example.
think we have a democratic process, and
I
whether
agree
we
with
like it or not, 2 people were nominated,
For 3.
and the vote went in
Because
favour
nobody
of
wanted to.
Bashan. So that is the way politics works in this country, and it doesn't matter what was agreed prior to this meeting by a particular group of people. It's what happens here that is
At this
important.
point, I've recorded.
Can we just calm down a little bit? Can we just calm down a little bit? Let Roseanne talk to Reza, and if we could just have a brief break.
Get another signature.
Indeed.
My husband said yes, so I'm going to accept it. Thank you.
Because majority must be grant. I'm not, my opinion is democratic.
No, yeah. Fine, it's whatever Roseanne wants. We have two members who are not within the chamber, so we just need to wait for them to come back.
This is a formal comment, accepting the nomination.
She knows lots of people.
You have done a fantastic job.
I'm sorry to say, I'm also Labour Party member last 38 years. I joined 1984. After 10, 15 years, after Roshan joined Labour Party, I joined 1984. I'm Labour Party member.
Political position.
So I have no opinion.
It's not appropriate, it's not.
No, I just broke the meeting until the two.
Recess.
It's not a
private comment.
Yeah.
It's not a political position, this is.
It's not, no.
No.
Per se. So I just need, Town Clerk, can you just see what's happening, please?
Everybody like. If you don't like, you can go. No, just happily.
So I have to use my gavel. I'm about to do it and all if I get what's that.
She said, no, I don't want to do it anymore.
Notice because the Greens have been very quiet after his 4 years in office.
Exactly, glorious choice.
Oh, Ramsgate, one guy every 7 years, I think.
As usual.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Was during the First World War.
Second one, second one.
Second World War, sorry.
We're not out.
Doing a relief on Mafeking, was it? Okay, right, restart the meeting. Councillor Ara has accepted to be the mayor. The vote was in favour of Councillor Ara, so therefore she is elected as mayor.
First,
I, Roshanara, having been elected to the office of mayor of the town and Singport Lim of Ramsgate, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Ramsgate Town Council.
print your name there.
Unopened.
Hey, you can't say something.
No. Thank you. I got copies.
Nice oath.
I read this again.
Yes, great.
I, Roshanara, shall be, as I ought to be, good and true, to our sovereign lady, Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and lawful successors, and the state customs and liberties of this town and port of Ramsgate, and the office of mayor there, well and truly, to the best of my power, will maintain, fulfill, and execute, and true judgment shall give as well to rich as to poor, not being hindered for fair, favour, or affection, or for any other cause.
Three items are suggested.
Sorry, I can understand.
So. If you need to think about that.
No, I think I will carry on with that. So, the chaplain, I can I put Salvation Army, can I put two? Okay. I would like to thank the council for electing me again for the mayor of 2023. Thank you all my colleagues and everyone. And I would like to appoint as my chaplain is the leader of Salvation Army, Carl Whitehead, and also Rabbi Cliff, and also Father Reverend Paul Aldrich. And I would like to appoint my husband, Reza Rahman, as my consort. My chosen charities will continue the same as before, which are RNLI, Thanet Winter Shelter, Ramsgate Sea Cadet, Foreland Schools, and the RNLI, yeah, that's it, yeah. I think that's it, isn't it? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay. I would like to thank my deputy, Councillor Pat Moore, for doing all the duties, many duties that I couldn't attend, but she attended. I would like to thank her from bottom of my heart, and she has supported me for the first, few years with many things that I didn't know. Thank you for that, Councillor Pat Moore. Thank you.
Okay, item number 8 is the election of the deputy mayor for 22-23. And are there any proposals? Councillor T.
I propose Councillor Moore, please.
Councillor Moore. Second that. Anybody else? No? So as last time, I know there isn't anybody else, but we need to vote on it. All in favour, please. Thank you. Those against? Any abstentions? 2 abstentions. Thank you. And that is carried. Councillor Moore is deputy mayor. Thank you.
Declaration of acceptance of office. I, Patricia Moore, have been elected the office of Deputy Mayor of the town and Cinque Port, Lim of Ramsgate. Hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Ramsgate Town Council. Thank you.
Right. Get finished.
Oh, that's for me to sign the voting list.
Thank you.
Okay, members, the last item on the agenda is the date and time of the next meeting, which is Wednesday the 25th of May at 7 p.m. It's an ordinary meeting, council meeting. And lastly, but not least, you're all cordially invited to stay for refreshments and a toast to the ensuing council year. Thank you very much, members. End of meeting. Can I bang the gavel?
I think you need to.
Hang on. You're going to charge ever get it, aren't you? Yeah.